So, ladies and gentlemen, the race for the mayor of the second largest city in America, Los Angeles, is getting very interesting. You have Spencer Pratt, who's seemingly came out of nowhere, taking on the Democrat establishment in California, Karen Bass, the current mayor, who, despite constantly reminding everyone that she has the experience and knows what it takes to be the mayor, either does not know the law or does not care to follow the law, because apparently Spencer Pratt has caught her cheating. And he has the proof. Why? Because she actually captured the moment herself while doing it. And so this race could take another turn. As always, if you enjoy the content, smash that thumbs up. That's the best way to let me know. Subscribe to stay locked in with the future content. Let's start right here.
Yeah, I have to admit that in my mind, a friend of mine who is a fan of Pratt, said, oh, he seems to rise. I was really putting it down. But if you look at the prediction markets, you look at the cash prediction markets, his chances are up significantly over the last few months. You go back a few months ago, February 26th, he had just a 7% chance. What is that? That's 5 plus 2. Now, it's up like a rocket. Look, chances are he still won't be the next mayor of Los Angeles, but there's a pretty decent chance of it. It's now up over a quarter, a 27% chance. So those who dismiss Pratt's chances, well, you got another thing coming, because he's got a realistic shot of winning this thing.
So he is a Republican, running there as a Republican, talking a lot about crime. Why might that be a potent issue for a Republican?
Yeah, there has not been a Republican mayor in Los Angeles in the last, 25 years. The last one to win was all the way back in 1997. And you can see it here. Why is it such a potent issue? Because who voters trust more in crime? Oftentimes we put up these graphics, Democrats are leading or Trump was leading, and then Democrats came ahead. But look at this. Who voters trust more in crime? In October of 2024, Trump was trusted more in crime than Kamala Harris by 4 points. Look at the Republican lead right now, though, in the average of polling. Look at this. Republicans nationally are more trusted on crime than Democrats by a 13-point margin. It's one of the few issues in which the Republican advantage, Johnny B., has actually expanded out from what Trump was looking at a little bit under 2 years ago.
And so with the crime that's just getting worse in California, and this is what Spencer Pratt has been calling out, you have the homelessness crisis out of control and has been enabled by Democrat leadership in California. And so Spencer Pratt, who came out of nowhere and no one really gave a chance in this race just a few months ago, he's currently projected where he's going to take down the city council member, Nithya Raman, and head into a November runoff election with current mayor Karen Bass. But let's go ahead and get into the next part right here, because apparently Karen Bass violated election law, filmed herself doing it, and Pratt is calling it out and working to make sure that she is held accountable. And so Spencer Pratt posted earlier, Karen Bass violated election law here. She is so accustomed to breaking the law with no accountability, she even filmed herself doing it. Well, those days are over. We just filed a formal complaint for illegally gaming the election. We must protect our democracy. Electioneering within 100 feet of a ballot box is against the law. Soliciting votes at a ballot box is against the law. These clear violations show a reckless disregard for the rule of law and our democratic process. Someone in a position of power should be especially respectful of our democratic laws. But this is just emblematic of Karen's mafia-like regime. It's rules for thee, but not for me. Here's the formal complaint we filed this morning. We will uphold the rule of law and our democratic norms. Enjoy your conference call with your lawyers, Karen. And so this is the actual complaint right here. And so she can't do that. At a ballot box, soliciting, campaigning. That is a violation. This is the current mayor, mind you, who should know the rules when it comes to elections in her city, right? And so then the question becomes, is she incompetent and doesn't know the rules, or ladies and gentlemen, is there just so much corruption going on that she just doesn't care? Either way is something that deserves an answer. And so because Pratt does not have the experience that Baz loves to brag about she has, that's something that keeps getting brought up. But listen to what he says here about people who don't want to vote for him because of his reality TV star history from 20 years ago. Check it out.
You know, you're known as a reality TV star. Do you think that that is, in your campaign for Los Angeles mayor to run the biggest city in California, is that a label that you embraced? Is that hurtful to your campaign, or does it help, you think?
I mean, the reality, pun intended, is that was from 20 years ago. And if we look at what Karen Bass was doing 20 years ago, she was in Cuba learning how to make bombs with the people that would then go bomb Capitol Hill. So if we're looking at backgrounds, I'm pretty proud of what I was doing at 20 on reality television, even though it was, you know, I may not have been the most likable character. It was still TV versus trying to destroy America and going to Cuba 20 times and praising Fidel Castro. So against my opponent, my background's pretty strong.
So he's calling out the people who are trying to smear his name, and he's saying, hold on, I was just a reality TV star. You guys voted in a whole card-carrying communist, and you think you can pass judgment on me? But that's what's happening here, because people, unfortunately, in our society, they choose not to be informed. And this next clip is a perfect example of that, ladies and gentlemen. You have this woman, a Los Angeles woman, who says she's not a fan of Spencer Pratt. She repeats all of the propaganda lines being pushed by the media, but then she's told why he's running and what he promises to do. And by the end of this exchange, ladies and gentlemen, her perspective completely changes, because now she has information. She's not just going along with what she was told by Democrats. She completely changes and wants to vote for him. Check it out.
I'm not a big fan of Spencer Pratt.
What?
I don't think he's the smartest guy in the world, so I don't think that would be the best position for him.
So, do you know about his platform?
I don't really know. I just know that he's married to Heidi and all of that, but he sort of got his start on reality TV and was the villain. But
Do you know why he decided to run, though?
I don't, actually.
So his house burnt down on the Palisades wildfire, and LA had a very slow response. So a lot of people lost everything.
Okay.
So he ran so that he could help clean up the wildfire preparedness as well
Right.
as the response time.
Well, that's respectable. I wasn't aware of that.
Have you heard of Skid Row?
Yeah.
Did you know that some of those people are drug users and they're testing their drugs on the dogs to make sure that it's
no.
safe for them before they do it?
No.
Spencer Pratt wants to put an end to that. One of his campaign taglines is vote Spencer to save the dogs.
I mean, honestly, I knew none of those things about Spencer Pratt, and that's very honorable, and I would tend to hike him up a bit, I guess.
Yeah, he's trying to address problems that Karen Bass has ignored.
Okay.
And he's trying to come in and fix those specific issues.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
does that improve your, idea or concept of?
100%, because I would have thought somebody like him would be more for clout or just to get his name and just for
No.
more of a famous type reason, but
This is opposite of
those-
clout.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I would probably sway towards those issues and voting for him.
Wow, I think we just a little red pill going on here.
Now, I would also say, don't just take someone telling you the opposing perspective at their word. If you're going to vote, you should probably, know who you're voting for. I think that's a bit of a duty we have as far as voters. The interaction does tell us something, though, that ignorance and incompetence do not discriminate. They're equal opportunists for anyone foolish enough to fall for them, no matter who you are, how famous you are. And this next clip is a good example of that, because you have Lisa Rinna, a former Real Housewife of Beverly Hills star, I guess, who is a perfect example of someone who would just be better off saying no comment. But take a listen.
Very political.
I am.
That's true.
So who should be the next mayor of LA?
That is a good question.
That's why I'm asking you.
I am going to say, I don't know yet. Not a reality star, though. I'm sorry. I love him, but we've already done that. We're not going to do that again.
Do you think there's a good chance that he will be the next mayor of LA?
It could be. I mean, he's got power behind him, it seems, but I don't know.
Why are so many Hollywood people on the west side into Spencer Pratt being mayor?
You got me. Because listen, I'm a reality person. You wouldn't want me as mayor. Really. I mean, let's just face it. I love him. I think he's amazing. I just think we did that. Let's have somebody that's already been mayor. The mayor of San Jose. Or whoever. I don't even know.
No, that would be for governor.
Governor. No, I like him.
This is why she should not run for office.
Exactly. I like him for governor.
Who?
The mayor of San
Oh.
Jose.
Wow. She doesn't even know who was running for mayor versus governor and still wants to speak on it. And that's the problem we have going on today, isn't it? People who, for whatever reason, we see it all the time, they don't know politics. It's not their skill set. That's okay. They're not informed at all about the current climate beyond what they scroll and see on their phone in a 30-second clip on TikTok or Instagram, whatever, but somehow think they're equipped on what should and shouldn't be. You know, it's okay to say, I do not have enough information about what's going on, and so I would rather not comment. That's okay. But no, you get people like this who think they know more than they actually do, and they constantly prove themselves wrong.
So I have the relationships. I know how our government works. I think he could benefit by a basic civics course.
When you talked to Jake Tapper in 2023, you said that your goal was to
end street homelessness
in LA by 2026. It's now 2026.
And we haven't ended it.
We have not ended it, and we're not close to ending it. How are you so off?
Well, basically, when I said that, it was at the beginning of my term. I am very committed to achieving that goal. I didn't anticipate some of the bureaucratic barriers.
So let's get into this next part, because you hear Karen Bass wanting you to trust her because she has the experience, while at the same time, when she was campaigning before her first term, she says she would solve homelessness by now. And apparently she hasn't solved it yet, but now she wants to blame it on everything but herself for the reason why it's not solved. And so let's get into this next part where you got Spencer Pratt, because he's calling out what's really going on with the homelessness crisis, why it's just gotten worse, and how these NGOs have created an entire financial ecosystem where it has now basically become profitable for them to not solve the homelessness crisis in Los Angeles. Check it out.
What are your plans for the over 40,000 homeless in Los Angeles?
Yeah, they're not homeless. They're drug addicts. Most of these people are addicted to fentanyl and meth. This isn't Spencer making it up.
Are you saying they don't have homes?
There is places for all of these people to sleep in LA. No matter what anybody tells you, we have housing and shelter for everyone that's living on the street. They are choosing to be on the street because they want to do drugs. They don't want rules. They don't want to listen. They want to have animals to abuse. This idea that they're forced on the street right now is a lie that our city is perpetuating. We've paid $24 billion to house these 40,000 people. There's spots for all of these people. They are choosing because they're an addict, and you can do fentanyl and super meth on the sidewalk with no repercussions. These places are not as they have to follow some rules. You can't torture a dog in some of these houses. You can't just attack people. You can't just be naked.
Where are you going to move?
Well, I just released a 9-minute video, so you can.
I think I saw your video. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very detailed.
But it's going to take time to build the facility and money.
No.
How fast do you think you can do it?
These people can literally. I went to Washington and I saw miles of the most insane prefabricated housing and building. I asked all the CEOs of these companies, say, how long does this take? I met with FEMA and HUD, 3 days. 3 days. And all of this is cheaper than trying to take over, senior citizens out of their buildings. This is what happens. They kick them out, and then the NGOs come in, and they spend 4 years. This is LA. This is LA's timetable.
Where is this facility going to be?
It's on beautiful federal land property.
Where, in LA County?
Well, when I'm mayor, I'll go meet with the federal government, and I'll get the property. Right now, I'm just running, so I can't give you the exact address because I don't have the legal responsibility to go represent Los Angeles and say, can I have this land? But when I'm mayor, I promise you, because we have the Olympics coming and everybody in the government wants LA to be the #1 most beautiful city, they will work with me to give me the land I need.
So you're going to move these 40,000 people somewhere, and you're going to have this facility up in, you said, how long?
Here's what you got to realize.
90 days?
Let me explain something. These 40,000 people, 60% of them, City Watch just announced this week, are not from Los Angeles. They're not from California. These people have been bussed in by scam rehabs, scam NGOs, scam homeless nonprofits. These people, when I unplug them and say, we're not taking our tax money anymore, they're all going to Seattle, where the mayor will welcome them. These are products to a lot of people. So the people that want to keep doing drugs and live on the sidewalk, a lot of these people are going to leave. The other ones, there's a lot of criminals. There's people that are getting naked in front of kids. They're going to jail. The people that are torturing animals, they're going to jail. So not everyone goes in the same box. So we have the money, we have the resources, and we have the facility.
He just delivered a lot right there. One, he said he plans on working with the federal government to help him clean up the city, which, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. You got Los Angeles, California here. It was once a beautiful place. It's the second largest city in this entire country, only behind New York City. And so, of course, President Trump, he'd like to see it look better, be better. I mean, look at what the president did to D.C., cleaning up the nation's capital, right? But he also touched on these NGOs profiting. And that's what he will have to actually fight against if he does get elected. He's going to have to fight against the corruption in a woke city council and the people who do not want to see the homelessness problem get solved. Because that's how they pay their bills, ladies and gentlemen. They made a career off of so-called helping the homeless. They're not just gonna, lay down and say, okay, we give up. No, they're gonna fight him on what he wants to do because it affects their wallets. And so let's go to TMZ, because even now they are seeing the momentum Pratt is getting, and they don't think Karen Bass would debate him again. Now, if you saw the first debate, he destroyed Karen Bass, and so she will not debate him again, because if she does, they believe she will lose. Check it out.
I think Spencer Pratt is going to be in a runoff with Karen Bass, and I also think that he's going to get more votes than her.
First of all, you said last week, and I want to reiterate this, this primary is 50+1. Otherwise, it's a runoff.
Right. It's going to be a runoff.
Right. And so the real competition right now is between Rahman and Pratt as to who's going to come in second, unless you think
I don't think he's coming in second. I think he's coming in first. How's this? When Spencer and Karen Bass face off in the general election, do you think that she is going to debate him? Because I think if she does, he will kick her ass.
I don't think there's any chance that she debates him. And I would have told you 2 weeks ago that I thought that he was going to finish third. The fact that you're discussing or handicapping now that he finishes first out of 3.
Oh, I absolutely
is absolutely amazing.
This whole thing is really going to come down to how tired people are of Democrat lies in the city of Los Angeles. If they're really tired, then Pratt should have a legit shot at winning the primary and then going into a runoff in November. Plain and simple. But who knows at this point, right? Right now, we even have the governor's race where a Republican could be the next governor of California. But there is always that shadow of Trump deranged liberals who dominate California, and they want to keep voting blue no matter who, and that favors people like Karen Bass in Los Angeles, and so we'll see. But those are my thoughts in the update. Now I want to hear from you. Drop your comments down below. I appreciate when you guys chime in. Don't forget, you enjoy the content, smash that thumbs up, subscribe to stay locked in with the future videos, and as always, until next time.